All right, I am back for number 46, and this is a difficult problem. So you may have to watch this video a couple of times. It's also a little bit difficult because my whiteboard is a little bit small. I don't have room for the whole problem. And so that's what I've been practicing to make sure that you can understand what I write. So what I have up here is I just have the left-hand side. I don't have enough room to write the whole problem, so that's all I'm working on. And just remember, the right-hand side is basically the product of these three. And so I'm starting off with that. The very first preview concept is I want to take these two items and I want to add them together. So to do that, I have to use the right-hand side of the sum formula for tangent. Now, what's a little bit different, and I don't want you to trip out, is that the angles here are represented by binomials. But just think of this as your first angle and this is your second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two in order to be able to add them together, and I'm going to write the fraction that's on the right-hand side of the sum formula for tangent. So it's going to look like this. Let me move my hand so you can see that. All right. Now notice here, we do need this. We do need to use this within the problem because this is the only way we get a product. Now, all of this then can simplify to the left-hand side of that formula. And what that means is all of this means that I can add these two together. So it's going to look like this. And then I can simplify it. These will obviously cancel out. So I will have the tangent of x minus z. Okay. Now these are the steps for just adding these two. Notice here, I also have this problem. I don't have room here, but what I want to do, and I'll do it on the back side of the whiteboard, is I want to give this the same denominator. I want them to have a common denominator from here. Because I did change the formula so it had this denominator. So when I go to the other side of the whiteboard, you're going to have this term simplified from these two terms here. And you're going to have this term with this same denominator that this had. It doesn't have anymore because it's been simplified by using that formula. Okay, so here we are right here. So we have exactly what I told you we had on the other side. We have that simplified first two terms here, and we have that third term with that common denominator. Now, I don't have room here to write this out, but what I want to do next, keeping in mind that I want to end up with a product on this left-hand side. I'm going to multiply everything through by this. So I'm actually multiply this by this. And then when I multiply this through, it's going to cancel with this. I'll just be left with this for the second term. So just follow me here. Just look at it this way. So I'll have tangent of x minus z times 1. I have tangent of x minus z. Then I'm going to have the tangent of x minus z times these two factors here. So I'll put the minus sign, then I'll put this. Times the tangent of x minus y times the tangent of y minus z. Okay, and then I'll have to put this right down here, and I have room here, and then plus tangent of z minus x. Okay. All right, now if you notice in the middle here, look at this. That's almost exactly what I want. Almost exactly what I want to verify or prove. So what I want to do is I'm going to take these two terms and I'm going to write them one next to the other. So I'm going to bring this straight down. Okay, and this right here, I'm going to put plus tangent of z minus x. Okay. Now the next two steps, what I'm going to use that other preview concept. I'm going to use the concept that tangent is an odd function. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the opposite of this. I'm going to take the negative sign on the outside. So let me do it right here. So that means that signs are going to change. So then I'll put x and then minus z. Okay. And then because it's an odd function, if I take the opposite of the input, the output is going to change to its opposite. So now you see I have exactly the same thing. So these will cancel out and go to 0. Right? Let me wait a second. I'm going to have to erase this so that I can deal with this last part here. Okay, so these have canceled out. Okay, and the only thing that I'm missing here is that this should be z minus x. That's what I said before, is I almost have everything that I want. So I'm going to use the same concept I did here to cancel these out. And I'm going to take out the opposite here, and then use the concept that tangent is an odd function, so that this will become positive. So what that means, then this term right here will become tangent of z minus x. Think of it, do it mentally. Take the opposite of these two terms, their signs change. When that negative sign comes here, you have a double negative, so it becomes positive. And I have times tangent of x minus y, and times tangent of y minus z. Okay. And then that's exactly what you had to prove. There is your product. Okay. Let me just check on the problem. I want to make sure that that's right. X minus y. Yes, I don't have it in the exact same order, but it's a product, so the order doesn't matter. Okay, so like I said, more difficult type of problem, you may have to stop the video along the way and view it a couple times so you get it. Right? So I hope you enjoy this, have fun, and have a good evening.